Well, hello everybody, it's Richard here, and good afternoon from a quite mild Sunday today. I've got some things to talk to you about, but the first thing I'm going to do is wish Dame Vera Lynn, who is 100 tomorrow, I believe, a very happy birthday, and one of the great British singers, particularly of the wartime years, and also a great supporter of veterans and the Royal British Legion. So I'd just like to pass on my congratulations to her. Having met her a couple of times as she was patron of one of the charities, one of the ex-service charities I used to work for many years ago, and I came to a couple of events to open new things, and was a great woman, great personality, and her daughter also was very nice. And last night it was nice to see on BBC Two there was a programme about her life, 100 years, and also the tributes. And even though she's looking quite frail now, you can still see that the old Vera, the Forces sweetheart, came through. So I want to start off this video, this broadcast, by playing one of her records, one of the ones that she's done with the Forces as well, with her boys as she called them. Wiederseh'n, one of the songs that she made very famous, a German song that she made famous, and she sings it on this album, an album which I actually have never seen repeated anywhere. I mean, I'm sure there are thousands out there, but I've never found one on eBay. It's when she sings along with the choir, the ex-Forces choir, I think it adds real resonance to the playing. So I'm going to play that first of all on the Good Soul Schools record player, and then I'm going to talk to you about my new incarnation, my new purchase, if you like, my new Decca Salon 73, which I bought from a very nice antique shop in Essex. And then I thought we'd play a couple of records that I've come across recently in my local charity shop. So without further ado, let's start off with Dame Vera singing on this album. So I'm just going to take Mr. GoPro off his perch. Just bear with me a second, and here we go. Right, okay, so this is the album. It's called Vera's Great Chorus Hits, Vera Lynn and Chorus. So it came out 60 years ago in 1957, and there's a nice picture on the front there. So let's just find the right track, and there we go. Just bear with me a second. There, enjoy.
Oh
fantastic. There we go, that's Dame Vera there. Okay, one other thing I was going to share with you as well, before I forget, is that one of my YouTube friends, a chap called Buzz, and this is his YouTube channel, it's Buzz1151. I mean, quite amazing guy. If you're into antique radio repairs and that, and he is quite in a big way, he's done some really good stuff, but also he throws in some sort of comedy bits as well. So he's got his alter ego chap called Diggle, who is like I suppose a puppet, and he's doing a bit about Trump at the moment, which I find, as Diggle's staying at Trump Hotel and hasn't paid his bill. So there's quite a story that goes along with this, along with sound film clips that he puts into the video as well. And one of the things about Buzzy is that he actually contacted me on YouTube to say that he didn't know anything about El Bowley until he'd heard El Bowley on my channel, which I thought was good. So I thought, well, I'll give a shout to Buzz today, because he play El Bowley in the background sometimes, and he's a firm favourite now of El Bowley. So we've got a new El Bowley convert basically over in the States, which I thought was really nice. So I thought perhaps I'd just mention him in passing. So that was that little bit there. The other interesting thing here is I've got a couple of Garrard 20 motors, as you probably will recognise, with those of you who are into repairing gramophones. And also over here I've got some handles, and it all will become clear very shortly. But let's first of all, let me swing the camera around and let's have a look at the new purchase, the new friend of mine, my best new friend, which is the Decca Salon, and it's number 73. It's quite an amazing piece of kit, this. I bought it on eBay for a song basically. It was an antique shop in Essex, Battle Bridge the place is called, a very nice little village there. Bones Lane Antiques is the place, and I'd recommend, if anyone's anywhere near there, to go and have a look around, because they've got, it's like a little it's not just one antique shop, it's like a store, a whole series of them under one roof, and they've got very nice tea rooms there as well. So and as it was in Essex, I thought, well, I only live in Kent, I can easily pop up there through the Dartford Tunnel, take the Mondi with me, the new Ford Mondeo, and so I actually won. I paid about £40 for this machine. Now it looks complete, but there are some things that I need to do. First of all, these doors are actually loose, they come off. So I've got the hinges, I think one of the hinges is broken. This one comes off as well. The fretwork on the front is fine. There's a bit of paint, which is emulsion, so I think I'll better get that off. I've had a look inside. It's got a saxophone style horn, double horn in there, so it sounds really good. The actual tone arm is really quite thick. There's a really, so it's also this particular model has got an automatic brake system. So here, it's triggered by this piece. So when the arm comes over, that's start, and then when it comes over, it triggers it once you get to the end of the record. It's got a very nice Decca sound box. This is the original, though I haven't tried this for any length of time. The only problem is that this machine didn't come with a winding handle, which leads me to my discussion about winding handles, and to try and find a winding handle that actually is a long throw winding handle, which this is, to fit this machine is actually been a real test of one's patience. Now I've got several of these here. I bought some of these on eBay recently. I have to say the price of winding handles goes from anything from about £15 to about £46 to £65 a throw, which I think is ridiculous. I can't believe the market is so, there aren't so many winding handles. The other thing about it is the threads on these vary. They really do vary. I thought all the threads would be the same. In fact, these two motors here both have different threads on them, and yet they're made by Garrard. So I find that quite amazing. And these are two spare ones. One the spring's gone in, and the other one works well enough. So on this machine here, the 73 comes with a double spring box on a 30 motor, which means it's double spring as opposed to single spring, and the spring's given out. So I've got a choice really. I could just change the spring on this one, or I could just use a single spring and change the boxes over on these two, so which I haven't decided what to do. I want to get this up and playing so I can hear it going. The rest of the cabinet's not in bad condition, so that's quite good. A few scratches, but I mean, but it will actually sit up in my new office in the house in the corner quite well, and it's got a very, very nice tone. I've heard it on a few on YouTube, and they've got a very nice tone, these machines. They were sort of high end, and the Colonel on EMG, one of the channels I listen to, he plays these quite often along with a lot of his records, and they do sound good. He does comparisons sometimes. I didn't know what the number was when I bought it. It wasn't advertised as a number, but 73 is quite a good one. So made probably around the 20s, early 30s, and it's all complete apart from that. So that's my little project. You have to take the motor out. Instead of having a motor board that's split for the tone arm, you actually take the motor out on this. On the motor board is the steel motor board that sits on here, so I've already had that out and had a look inside. So, but I've been so busy doing other things. But the doors need securing back on again. As you can see, there's one or two bits here. I'm not sure it's all complete, but we'll have a look at that and you know, have a look. But the challenge is going to be, which motor do I put back in there temporarily? I'll probably put a 20 in there. The 118, which is over here, the Columbia 118, she runs on a 20 motor quite happily. I've rebuilt that, as that was the one that was in a skip, remember, and put her back on the road, so I'm sure I can do that for the salon. Now to records. Yes, to records. Now, been quite interesting. I've got a couple of records to play today that I found in a local charity shop a few weeks ago. This one is by the BBC Dance Orchestra, Henry Hall, and this one is Lonely Lane Foxtrot, and with vocal chorus. So we're going to play that one. The other one I've got here is on the here we are on the Penaccord label, Farewell Blues by Eddie Lang and Joe Venali, I think you pronounce that, and All Stars Orchestra. That's a very nice record, and Someday Sweetheart is quite nice as well. So I thought we'd start off with the BBC Dance Orchestra, and so without further ado, here we go. I think this one, Lonely Lane, is nicer than Wagon Wheels, which is a more popular tune, but I think this one, so I'm going to play something a little different. So this is on Columbia, and it's CB724. So here we go. Enjoy.
And I am recalling love that came when the apple blossoms kissed the rain. Lonely Lane. She used to love me in starlight above me. Love, sweet pain, haunts my memory in Lonely Lane. Blue November, I remember happy days in May. She was blue until you stole the summer away. Oh, lonely lane. Each lover too has a love nest in view, but I remain with a dream of summer lonely lane.
There we go, Lonely Lane. Now just let me turn this off. I'm just going to talk amongst yourselves while I take the change the record over. So this one is Farewell Blues. So here we go. I'm just going to do a bit of winding here, because this is a single spring box, so clearly it needs a bit of winding. I think it probably would work to about 3/4 of the record on this tur if it was wound fully. But I've got a double spring on the cello in the main house, and it plays sort of two sides of a 10-inch. So right, here we go. There we go. What a number that is. Great. Okay. So, as usual, thanks everybody, and I look forward to your comments, and hopefully do a new video very soon. Take care. Oh, just before I go, just I've remembered, I just thought I'd show you the record cover that the Vera Lynn numbers came on. There were several other numbers on this album as well, and just to also mention that I was intrigued by this Brunswick record cover, which was talking about the old method of recording and reproducing, and the new method, the Brunswick electronic version. And they talk about how the frequency changes between the acoustic mechanical reproduction and the electrical reproduction, and studying the virtues of the new electrical reproducer, which of course is the new obviously through an amplifier with a horseshoe magnet pickup, which I thought was really interesting. So a little bit of history there that came with that particular record. But anyway, just thought I'd mention in passing. Anyway, hope to speak to you all later.